Are you an empathetic person, stuck in a relationship with an emotionally abusive narcissist? Do you want to see them go mad with helplessness? If your answer is yes, then this video was made for you. I'll reveal 10 highly effective tactics that empathetic individuals can use to make narcissists scramble and ultimately break down before you. However, this video is intended only for those who feel safe, confident, and strong enough to confront narcissists. Remember, these strategies are truly effective only when dealing with a typical narcissist, characterized by familiar behaviors such as psychological manipulation and emotional abuse, but who does not exhibit tendencies toward physical violence. If you're stuck in a toxic relationship where physical violence is a constant threat, or if you're uncertain about your own safety, please seek help from professionals or authorities. Your safety is the top priority, and the advice in this video cannot replace professional assistance in dangerous situations. Let them know you see through them. First, strip away the narcissist's mask, not with words, but through your demeanor and energy. A sharp gaze, decisive gestures, and unwavering confidence are your most powerful weapons. Let them see that you've completely unraveled their true nature, piercing through the dazzling facade they've painstakingly constructed. When a narcissist realizes you are no longer deceived and that you've understood the toxicity, weakness, and incompetence hiding behind their confident exterior, they'll feel deeply unsettled. Their fragile ego, fake sense of self, and carefully maintained mask will begin to crack. Their false bravado, flowery rhetoric, and endless victim stories used to manipulate others will become meaningless in your presence. At that moment, when they realize they've lost control and can no longer manipulate you, the power game ends. The mere act of being exposed for who they truly are is enough to send a narcissist into a crisis. They'll be forced to confront the emotions they've long denied: shame, insecurity, and the fear of being uncovered. Stop reacting to their provocations. Narcissists are like vultures, circling to drain your emotional energy. They thrive on watching you lose it or spiral out of control, because that's when they feel their ultimate power affirmed. Through cunning tactics, they provoke, aggravate, and push you into the pit of negative reactions, forcing you into anguish, pleading, or even submission. The more you react intensely, the more satisfaction and pride they derive from their ability to manipulate you. But this is the deadliest trap they set. Losing your calm means unwittingly handing them the key to control the game. Every word and action from the narcissist at this point becomes a poison-tipped arrow aimed directly at your vulnerabilities. They may attack your self-esteem, belittle you, or distort the truth to make you feel misunderstood. Their sole goal is to make you feel hurt, inadequate, humiliated, rejected, and insecure. Their joy is built on your misery. So, when the narcissist's rage erupts and they start hurling toxic bombs your way, don't take the bait. Become an impenetrable fortress. Don't argue, don't explain, don't try to change them. Any engagement at this point only fuels them and strengthens their grip to drag you deeper into their toxic vortex. Remember, in this game of manipulation, the narcissist's objective is not to uncover the truth or resolve issues. They merely seek to drain your energy, feed their distorted ego, and satisfy their thirst for control. They might dig up old incidents as ammunition, justify their wrongdoings with twisted logic, or say anything to make you snap. Thus, when faced with a raging narcissist, imagine yourself as an unfeeling, unthinking rock. Breathe deeply, stay calm, observe silently, and avoid any visible reaction. Indifference is your most powerful weapon. It blocks the energy supply they crave, leaving them powerless and eventually forcing them to abandon their manipulation attempts. Use minimal communication. When forced to communicate with a narcissist, adopt the gray rock method. Maintain a neutral attitude, a blank expression, and respond with short, dry phrases like yes, understood, or thanks. A monotone voice, devoid of emotion, will make them feel like they're punching a cloud. Any effort to provoke becomes futile, even if they hurl the most hurtful words at you. Respond indifferently with something as simple as, "Okay, it may sound easy, but this is how you win the psychological game." For example, when they deliberately ignore your messages for days and you panic, sending texts like, "Why are you treating me like this? I've always been good to you," you've fallen into their trap. They want you to react. They want you to suffer because it validates their power. But when you ignore them completely or reply with minimal, emotionless words, they'll feel frustrated and powerless. Your indifference deprives them of the fuel they desire, making them feel unimportant. More importantly, this tactic frees you from the mental torment they inflict, allowing you to regain control over your life. One crucial note: when facing accusations, insults, or manipulative tactics from a narcissist, never rush to defend or explain yourself. The more you justify, the deeper you fall into their trap, providing them with more ammunition to attack. Remember, their ultimate goal isn't the truth, it's to spark negative emotional reactions from you. So, hold on to your grey rock armor, letting calmness and indifference shield you from their attacks. Using their traits against them. This is a masterful strategy that requires subtlety, skill, and a deep understanding of the opponent's psychology. Avoid arguing or persuading them, as they rarely truly listen. They crave reactions and strive to win every debate. To engage with such people, instead of resisting, learn to steer them, subtly guiding them into behavioral patterns without their awareness. As Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius advised, do not resist, but guide. The goal isn't to play psychological games with them, but to protect your peace and autonomy, avoiding the negative spirals they can create. For example, if you're dealing with a narcissist who loves to show off and present themselves as a model figure, subtly suggest that maintaining composure and acting gracefully will enhance their image in the eyes of others. Even if they resist change internally, their fear of losing face or being judged will compel them to act the role of a calm person to uphold the perfect image they painstakingly built. With narcissists obsessed with reputation, gently remind them of the risk of being exposed if they don't act carefully. The fear of losing their honor will serve as a strong motivator, making them deliberate their actions to protect their hard-earned image. When delivered skillfully, such warnings can help you avoid unnecessary conflicts and prompt them to adjust their behavior. For impulsive narcissists, driven by power lust, entice them with irresistible opportunities, bait in the form of promotions or authority over others. They will quickly fall for the allure, stepping into the trap you've set, unaware of your deliberate guidance. Lastly, the most crucial element is knowing when to stop. This strategy requires moderation and patience. Overusing it might lead narcissists to realize and retaliate, dragging you into the negative spiral they create. Treat this strategy as a secret weapon to safeguard your inner peace and use it only when necessary. True strength lies not in confrontation, but in maintaining calm and serenity within. Setting boundaries. One of the most subtle and effective ways to win against an adversary without direct confrontation is by establishing strong personal boundaries. However, setting boundaries doesn't mean aggressively declaring or warning them, "Don't treat me like that," or "You're out of line." Absolutely not. Personal boundaries don't require grand words or displays. They are like a silent pledge, an affirmation of your self-worth and the things you absolutely will not allow others to violate. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius taught, the self is a fortress. No one can seize it unless you allow it. Establishing boundaries is not about changing or controlling others, but about fortifying your inner strength. It helps you block external negativity and shields your emotions and thoughts from toxic influence. This is the core principle of Stoicism, We cannot control others, only our response to them. Personal boundaries serve as a solid foundation to weather life's storms without faltering. Imagine personal boundaries as an invisible shield, not a wall separating you from the world, but a protective circle for inner peace. They help you maintain balance and calm, even amid chaos. When adversaries realize their tactics can't penetrate this shield, they will feel powerless and retreat. This is how you win without fighting. Overcome your enemies without needing to retaliate. Philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot control what others do, but we can control how we react." By focusing on core values and self-control, you create an impregnable fortress within your soul. When enemies see they can't sway or manipulate you, their strength diminishes, and they abandon their harmful intentions. To neutralize an adversary gently and smoothly, uphold personal boundaries, stay true to your principles, and let no one intrude on that sacred inner land. No need for noise or confrontation. Steadfast silence is enough to frustrate them. This is how Stoics defeat every adversary, by keeping their inner world unshakable and impervious to external negativity. Putting them in difficult situations publicly, occasionally. Tactfully placing a narcissist in a tight spot in front of others can be an effective strategy, but timing and subtlety are key. For instance, when they exaggerate or fabricate achievements to boost their image, you can casually bring up a fact that doesn't align with their story. Or, while they boast, you might ask a simple yet pretty tricky question that you know they cannot answer without revealing their weaknesses or deceit. For example, if they're bragging about a successful project, you could innocently ask, "What specific data did you use to achieve that result? I'd love to learn more." Their hesitation or evasion in front of others will naturally expose their inflated ego. However, this tactic must be executed with caution and clear intent. The goal isn't to humiliate or disgrace them, but to lead them to recognize their flaws indirectly. Always maintain a calm and respectful demeanor, avoiding overtly critical remarks. Subtlety in your approach not only preserves cordial relations, but may also help them become more self-aware without feeling attacked. Cutting off contact. Cutting off contact is one of the most powerful and effective ways to regain control and protect your inner peace when dealing with narcissists. Imagine this as erecting an invisible wall that separates you from the chaotic world they create to manipulate your emotions and life. When you decide not to answer calls, respond to messages, reply to emails, or acknowledge any attempts at contact, you are sending a strong message. I am no longer your source of energy. Your silence acts as a solid fortress, not only shielding you from their criticism, schemes, and manipulation, but also leaving them powerless. Narcissists thrive on reactions, anger, justifications, or even pleas, for it reassures them that they still hold control. But when you remain silent, when you don't utter a single word, they are left starving in desperation because you've stripped away the one lifeline they rely on. They will try every tactic to break down this wall. They may send messages in a pitiful tone, pretending to be remorseful or playing the victim to evoke your sympathy. When that fails, they might switch to an offensive strategy, throwing accusations or issuing threats to shake your resolve. Yet, it is in these moments that you must stand firm. Every time you refuse to engage or fall into their traps, you strengthen your protective wall and remind them that their power over you is gone. Of course, deciding to cut off contact isn't easy. It requires patience, courage, and immense willpower. You might feel guilty or even lonely, because narcissists often create a sense of dependence, making you believe your life revolves around them. But once you overcome the initial stage, you will realize that this silence not only protects you from harm, but also helps you rediscover yourself. Exposing them. Narcissists fear nothing more than having their true nature exposed. Their lives are built on lies and a glittering facade meant to mask their inner weaknesses, insecurities, and flaws. For them, being unmasked in front of others is akin to a devastating blow to their fragile ego, which they guard at all costs. This is their greatest vulnerability, which you can cleverly use to curtail their toxic behavior. Imagine when they start making cruel remarks, gossiping about others, or spreading false rumors. You can remain calm and respond with a soft but sharp statement, such as, "That doesn't concern me," or "That seems private, maybe you should keep it to yourself." Then say no more. Your short but firm response will stop them in their tracks, making them realize their behavior has been exposed. At that moment, they will feel embarrassed and flustered, especially if there are witnesses. Narcissists are deeply afraid of losing face, as the perfect image they work so hard to build is their main tool for manipulating others. By not only refusing to play their game, but also subtly exposing their deceit, you leave them with no excuses or comebacks. This forces them to back off, at least temporarily, as you assert that you cannot be easily manipulated or drawn into their toxic cycles. Brutal honesty. Instead of continuing to coddle them with hollow flattery or tolerating their behavior with silence, imagine jolting them with raw truth, things they need to hear but always avoid. The truth becomes not just a wake-up call, but a mirror reflecting their real selves, the side they hide behind their perfect facade. Or, bolder still, you might say things no one else dares to confront them with. By doing so, you shake the foundations of their distorted worldview, placing them in a situation they cannot escape. Picture them basking in a moment of superiority, convinced they are the center of the universe, perfect and unrivaled. At that very moment, you calmly but directly pour cold water with an obvious truth, a statement both straightforward and piercing. This truth acts like a sharp pin puncturing their inflated ego, causing it to burst instantly. They'll be stunned, disoriented, even lost, as your words destabilize the elaborate illusions they've built over time. The power of truth lies not in aggression or harsh language, but in its directness and uncompromising clarity. When you are skillful and confident in delivering the truth, you wield a potent psychological weapon. The glamorous mask they painstakingly crafted cannot withstand the sharpness of your honesty. It's not just exposure, it's a profound strike at their oversized ego, forcing them to confront the self they've been avoiding. Live well. Forget revenge. Instead, transform your life into the most perfect masterpiece as your ultimate response to those who sought to harm you. Revenge is a never-ending spiral that wastes your precious time and energy, only proving that you've been affected, a small victory for malicious individuals who crave it. Focus instead on building a fulfilling life, rich with happiness and success. That is the sharpest and most powerful comeback. Nothing irritates envious, resentful individuals more than seeing you shine brightly and live a meaningful life. As the great Oscar Wilde once said, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people merely exist." So, turn your life into a vibrant symphony filled with joy and unforgettable experiences. Relish every present moment. Nurture your soul with positivity. And don't let negative people contaminate your mind. Instead of dwelling on negative thoughts or paying attention to the words and actions of harmful individuals, dedicate your time and energy to yourself. Pursue your passions, fulfill long-held dreams, and do what genuinely makes you happy. Growth and joy are the most powerful slaps to those who wished to see you fall. The poet Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best: success is to laugh often, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of honest souls. Success isn't just about career achievements, it's also about inner peace and satisfaction. When you choose to live beautifully, with kindness, spending time with positive people and upholding your self-respect, you create an invisible shield that protects you from negativity. This is the most refined form of revenge, achieved without anger or hatred. These are 10 strategies you can use to neutralize manipulative narcissists. Remember, you deserve to live in healthy relationships where you are respected and loved. Don't let anyone manipulate or control you. Stay strong and take back control of your life.